The monetary system is at the core of the economic system that we know today. Almost all transactions are based on exchange of money. So, what is money? When was it invented? And who invented money? The history of money is always fascinating and goes back thousands of years, from the early days of bartering to the first metal coins and eventually the first banknote that was printed in France in the 17th century. Money has always had an important impact on the way we function as a society. The future of money is evolving in real time as we're living in the internet era. The emergence of digital money and cryptocurrencies are transforming both our economy and how people view, understand, and transact money. It is impossible to talk about the future of money without first talking about Bitcoin and the technology in which it is built on, known as blockchain. In a research paper introducing the digital currency, Bitcoin is defined as a new electronic cash system that's fully peer-to-peer with no trusted third party. To enlighten us further on the future of money, we have invited two speakers today. Our first speaker is Ross Stevenson. Ross is the Community and Education Lead for Luno Malaysia, where he oversees the education outreach programs in Malaysia to raise awareness and educate more people about crypto. Our second speaker is Andrew Shin, also known as BitAndrew in the cryptocurrency space. Andrew is the founder of Crypto Asia and NFT Valley that focus on cryptocurrency education and the launch of new NFT collections. He is an early crypto adopter and investor since 2017. At 2020, he started to be involved in the NFT and metaverse industry. His 6x6 virtual land estate in Sandbox Metaverse is probably the largest plot owned by a Malaysian. So, let's take a glimpse of the future and discover more about the future of money. All right, we have here the very animated Ross. I absolutely love his hair. But what's even more amazing is his passion and knowledge in the crypto world as well.
Exactly.
And so it's so good to have you here to talk about the future of money, which inevitably is taking place right now, a revolution in terms of the money world.
Absolutely.
And so perhaps, you can enlighten us further about the cryptocurrency world and what some of our viewers should know in the coming years.
All right, thank you so much, Julie, for the introduction. Indeed, the future is very bright and very exciting. So let's get right into it. But before I cover any juicy details, I need to make something very clear. I'm not a financial advisor, right? I'm just Ross from Luno Malaysia. I'm the Community and Education Lead. So my role is to educate people, to help them understand crypto. So let's get right to it. The evolution of finance. We started with the barter trade system. That was the first system of finance that humans created. It was useful because we didn't have to carry money around, but it had its disadvantages. You cannot hold chicken eggs and vegetables for a long time. It'll go rotten. Then we created a new system using coins, right? Precious metals like gold, silver, these things are very precious because they're rare, they're scarce, and they have value. But we went one step even further. We created paper money. Now, if you notice a trend, as our evolution of finance progresses, it becomes more and more efficient, more and more faster, more and more easier to use. And you know what? We went one step even further. We went all the way to plastic, right? We got credit cards. Now you can just tap and pay. Just in 1-2 seconds, you're done. You can do a transaction with a piece of plastic. We went one step even further. We've got e-wallets, right? Nowadays, when you go shopping, you see so many QR codes, you don't know which one to scan. Evolution of finance has continued to progress and finance has become easier and easier and easier and faster. Finally, Julie, I believe we've come to the next step in the evolution of finance. At Luno, we believe the next step is fulfilled by cryptocurrencies. In particular, when I explain cryptocurrencies, I like to talk about Bitcoin because Bitcoin was the first and the most popular. Now, you said you've heard of Bitcoin, but for the viewers that are watching, let me define what is Bitcoin. Firstly, the word digital. Bitcoin is not physical. You can't hold it, you can't see it.
Yeah.
It's something that exists online. Now, before we go to the second word, which is a bit trickier, let's look at the third word, currency. You use money, I use money, we all use it every day. It is a system of exchange, right? You have something I want, I pay you ringgit, you give me that something. Now, the currency that's issued by a country, such as Malaysia, we issue ringgit Malaysia, that's known as fiat currency, right? Now, what's interesting is that fiat currency is issued by the government, right? So the government controls the supply. In the year 2008, in America, there was a financial crisis.
Yeah.
And so what happened was there was this person, or perhaps even a group of people, we don't know for sure, they called themselves Satoshi Nakamoto, and they created Bitcoin. They meant Bitcoin to be a system of digital currency that doesn't require a bank. Now, you might be wondering, all our lives, banks control currency. How can you create a currency that's not controlled by a bank? That's the big question. And that brings us to the second most important word, decentralized. Julie, I think if everybody understands this word decentralized, you will understand the whole philosophy behind cryptocurrency. Now, because this is a complex word, the easiest way that I found to explain it is using a real-life game example. Now, in the game of Monopoly, everybody is a player, but one player is special. They control all the money. What do you call that person?
The banker.
The banker, exactly. And similarly, in real life, we have the central bank of a country which controls the inflow and outflow of currency. That happens in Monopoly, right? The one banker controls everything. Now, on one hand, it's a good thing because you know who to go through when you need money and when you need to buy and sell and rent property. Now, let's contrast that with something that's decentralized. You pointed out a very interesting word, peer-to-peer. Chess is played by how many players?
Just two.
Two players, and you don't have a referee or a judge watching a game. In fact, between me and you, I'm watching you play, you're watching me play, and we're watching each other's moves on the chessboard. That's why I use this as an example for decentralized. There's no judge, there's no banker, there's no central authority watching the game. In fact, I'm just watching you, you're watching me, and if you play professional chess, we even write down the moves, right? Every single move that you make is recorded on my paper. And so chess is an example of a decentralized system. The only reason why this is possible for Bitcoin and all other cryptocurrencies is thanks to this new word, the blockchain. Now, have you heard of this word blockchain before?
Yeah.
What do you think it means?
Well, it's the system that enables cryptocurrency to happen.
Absolutely. You know, you could do my job, Julie. You're incredible at this.
Really?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use Legos to explain a bit about the blockchain, right? Think of blockchain as a type of technology, right? It is a record of all transactions. So if you have a book of transactions and you record the transaction 1, transaction 2, transaction 3, and if that record is accurate and permanent, then you can trust it. That record becomes valid. Once you have made a transaction and it is confirmed on the blockchain, you can't change it. You can't say, oh, sorry, undo. You can't do that. Secondly, it's also decentralized. You see, the blockchain isn't controlled by a single government, a single country, or a single company. It is spread out across the whole world. If you have a computer, you can connect to the blockchain. I can connect to the blockchain. We all can connect to it together and we can all process transactions on the blockchain. You see, banks today, they control what they control, right? And they don't reveal their information publicly to everyone. But on the Bitcoin blockchain, you can see every single transaction that has ever happened from the beginning of Bitcoin until today. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, it's really quite something.
But couldn't I be anonymous and they wouldn't know that I'm doing what I'm doing?
That's a very good point. In fact, what we use is that we use the word pseudo-anonymous. So when you transact on the Bitcoin blockchain, you have an address. It doesn't show us your name like Julie or Ross, right? It'll be a random collection of letters and numbers. However, because I can track everything and you can't change it, it's immutable, I can see it online, means I can see where the Bitcoin is going from account to account. I may not see your name, but I'll be able to track it. So a word that we use is pseudo-anonymous. Now, things can get a bit complicated here. There are words like cryptocurrency, NFTs, blockchain. So I'm going to use a very simple analogy to explain all of that together. Let's start with the engine. Now, as I said earlier, blockchain is a type of technology and you can build on top of it. So you can program applications on the blockchain. And you can even program things like smart contracts, right? Which help you create cryptocurrencies. And now let's look at the second application, NFTs. Remember I said a car key is something that's unique. Your car key opens your car, my car key opens my car. And NFT, or the full form, is non-fungible tokens. Everybody talks about it in relation to pictures because the picture of the Mona Lisa is very unique. There are no two Mona Lisas in the world. It's a unique token that is located on the Ethereum blockchain or other blockchains as well which support it. Now we have a very interesting word, CBDC. Have you come across this term before?
It's a central bank digital currency, right?
Absolutely right. You are an A-star student, Julie. You know all the right answers. Oh, thank you very much as well. Now, central bank, they've taken fiat currencies. Remember, fiat is controlled by the bank and they've digitalized it. So imagine today we use our physical ringgit notes. What if Bank Negara said, hey guys, we're going to abolish physical notes. We're going to change it into digital ringgit. Now, some of them will be based on blockchain. Some of them may choose not to base on blockchain. So that's an option up to the CBDC.
But it's still central bank control.
Absolutely right. So that's the difference. Cryptocurrencies are decentralized.
Well, as long as there's a market for all and there are its use cases and advantages, then they can all sort of happen concurrently, right?
You're absolutely right. I would love to see a future where we can all get along together and everybody can party, because I think there's more than enough space. Remember, all of this is happening where? Online. It's practically limitless. They're all very new. They're all learning from each other. They all have their advantages and also their disadvantages. So that's something we need to keep in mind. Now, before we go there further, we want to also talk about regulations. Firstly, let's talk about Bank Negara Malaysia, right? The Central Bank of Malaysia have a guideline regarding the anti-money laundering and counter-financing of terrorism of digital currencies. One of the things that we do, and at Luno, we obey these guidelines, we do something called KYC, which stands for Know Your Customer. We want to make sure that we know who our customers are. That makes it a lot safer to use our platforms. Secondly, and most importantly, is the Securities Commission. Now, the Securities Commission, they help to regulate all the licensed investment platforms in Malaysia. Why? Because there are so many scams out there. And I'm happy to say that Luno was the first crypto exchange to get licensed by the SC. Now, a very important point for our Muslim viewers, right? If you're Muslim, I'm very happy to say the Sharia Advisory Council of the SC have declared that digital currencies are permissible for investment and trading purposes on licensed and regulated digital currency exchanges. We want to make cryptocurrency a safe space for everyone to invest in. And in order to do that, we do need regulations. And I believe that brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.
Very nice. Thank you so much for enlightening us, especially for newcomers who are a bit hesitant about investing in cryptocurrency. So I think this is the right step forward. Education, number
Absolutely.
one. And I think that answers a lot of preliminary questions that newbies have in mind. Security, whether it's legal, always look at safe and secure platforms like Luno as well. So thank you so much. And very interesting, because I'd like to bring back the other speaker to have a more in-depth chat about the opportunities as well as the challenges in regards to cryptocurrency as part of the future of money. What does it mean for governments and how will it impact society at large? So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back very shortly.